So, as Donald Trump is now behind in the new Reuters Ipsos national poll to Vice President Kamala Harris, 45% to 41%, as Donald Trump is behind Vice President Kamala Harris in the new Bloomberg Morning Consult poll amongst registered voters in all of the swing states and just tied in Arizona, but otherwise down in all the swing states, Donald Trump, in a delirious fit last night, started posting things like this. This is an actual image that he posted, Trump 2024, and he has himself and J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy and RFK Jr. and Elon Musk. This is what the leader of the Republican Party is posting. When I call this individual a petulant 3-year-old and say no offense to petulant 3-year-olds, I really mean it. Also, Donald Trump is selling a new book. A lot of this new book has pictures of himself. It's mostly a picture book, but here it is right here. He calls it Save America. And in the book, he floats the conspiracy theory that there are signs that Fidel Castro could be Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada's actual dad, the same way that he said about Ted Cruz's dad killed JFK. This is just what Donald Trump does. This is the leader of the Republican Party saying that one of our biggest allies in Canada, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister's dad, is actually Fidel Castro. But by the way, while this seems to be like a shocking conspiracy that Donald Trump is making up, if you've been following the Midas Touch Network, you know we show clips of him saying things like this before. Like here when he was doing that interview with the guy who, Aiden Ross or whatever the guy's name is, who like sniffs the chairs of women, like in like a really, it's like just the most disgusting thing ever. Donald Trump said that here. This is real what I'm about to show you. Play the clip.
Yeah. He's turned very liberal, actually. They say he's the son of Fidel Castro, and could be. I mean, anything's possible in this world, you know?
You know, and then last night, Donald Trump's like on again, off again lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, was like wearing a Superman shirt and trying to defend Donald Trump for trying to overthrow the results of the 2020 election. As I said, this conduct and this behavior is very, very weird. Like, no wonder classic Republicans are looking at this and saying, I don't want to be affiliated with MAGA. And classic Republicans like Anthony Scaramucci and Adam Kinzinger are saying they're voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. I mean, take a look at Dershowitz right here. Here, play this clip.
Charges that Donald Trump knew and believed that he had actually lost the election. How's the government going to prove that? He never said that to anybody. He never wrote that anywhere. Did he ever think it? I don't know. Did he say it on a phone call that was illegally overheard? I doubt it.
I want to talk about this huge crowd in Savannah, Georgia for Vice President Kamala Harris on Thursday in just a moment. But I just got to show you this one other thing. So I showed you Dershowitz, one of Trump's lawyers. Here's Donald Trump's legal counsel, who's not actually a lawyer, Tom Fitton. And he now is saying that he's launching an investigation into Barack Obama because his sources tell him that Obama threatened President Biden with use of the 25th Amendment. And that's why things are the way they are right now. Yes, this is Donald Trump's non-lawyer lawyer, Tom Fitton. Here, play this clip.
Breaking news that the 25th Amendment was used as a threat against Joe Biden by Barack Obama, Harris, and Pelosi to force him out of the campaign. If true, it would be a crime, but obviously the Justice Department isn't going to do much of an investigation. But you can be sure Judicial Watch will. We've already launched an investigation into the 25th Amendment.
Also, while Vice President Kamala Harris was speaking with Dana Bash of CNN, Donald Trump was posting insight like this: boring, exclamation point, exclamation point. As I said, a petulant third grader. Talking about Savannah, Georgia, let's take a look at Savannah, Georgia, where Vice President Kamala Harris was speaking yesterday in front of a packed crowd versus Donald Trump's bizarre, whatever you want to call it, in Michigan. Take a look at Vice President Kamala Harris here. Let's play this clip.
And he would create a national anti-abortion coordinator and force states to report on women's miscarriages and abortions. It's right there in Project 2025. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Simply put, they are out of their minds.
Now compare that to Donald Trump speaking in Michigan about Al Capone. Play this clip.
So in the last year, I think I had 9 indictments, far more than Alphonse Capone, who was quite well known in Chicago and the environs. He liked killing people, but he had nothing like me. 9 times.
Or here Donald Trump says that there are 19 different ways to say Vice President Kamala Harris's name. And this was supposed to be a speech about the economy. Here, play this clip.
And nobody really knows her. They were doing something, the man on the street, they said, you know Harris? Everyone's saying, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows who Harris is. What's the vice president's name? They have no idea what the name is. Now, the name Kamala it's a little complex because there's about 19 different ways of pronouncing it, right? But Kamala is, at least it's a name you sort of remember. You can't use Harris because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. Who's Harris? We want somebody they know. And, you know, one of the reasons they don't know, she did a lousy job. She was
Mind if I geek out a little bit with you for a second? Can we geek out together? And I want to show you some graphs. I want to show you some data. All right, so I showed you some data already at the beginning. I showed you the Reuters Ipsos poll, Kamala Harris up 45 to 41%. I showed you the new Bloomberg Morning Consult poll of swing states. Take a look, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan, which already gets Vice President Kamala Harris to the 270 she needs to win. Plus you've got Georgia, North Carolina, she's leading. They have her tied in Arizona. Okay, push that data aside. Let's get into some data about Donald Trump's economic plans versus Vice President Kamala Harris's plans. As Justin Wolfer says, take a look at this graph. This is what happens when you submit the policy proposals of both candidates to similar scrutiny. Here's the effect of Harris and Trump's policy proposals on the federal budget. You see Vice President Kamala Harris's plan is far more fiscally responsible than Donald Trump's, which is basically to just put tariffs and on goods, and like, why is that going to be effective at all? Like, there's no plan at all. Donald Trump already added $8 trillion of debt last time around. He's going to add a lot more now with his not even plans, just phony statements about whatever. So then we had, going through more data, here's the Trump media stock right here, down about 55 to 60% over the past 6 months. As of yesterday, it closed at $19.84. So the Trump stock is tanking, again, down 55 to 60% around that over the last 6 months. Take a look, though, Carl Quintanilla's post right here of this chart. People are starting new businesses right now at extraordinary rates. So people starting new business right now, stronger than ever under the Biden-Harris economy. Also notable about the Biden-Harris economy, the United States, I've given you this stat before, but it's worth repeating, and JP Morgan mentioned this stat. It's a great stat. The United States economy, of all major world economies, is the only economy that exceeded its GDP projections that were made in 2019 before COVID. So even with COVID, the United States right now is ahead of its GDP projections in 2019 under Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden. Now, the stock market's up about 50% or so. Your 401k, I'm sure, is doing way better right now than it was under Donald Trump. I always say, ask yourself where your 401k is today versus where your toilet paper was under Donald Trump. But to me, there's other metrics that we could use. Low unemployment right now. That's a great metric. We could look at GDP growth right now, and the American economy growing faster than any G7 nation, than any economy in the world right now. Let's take a look at another graph right here. Tom Bonnier, an election expert, he posted this, and a voting habits expert, he posted this. He said that this chart that he's showing here about Democrat enthusiasm to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris has never been higher. And as Tom Bonnier says, this is certainly reflected in the registration data we've been reporting over the past few days. The enthusiasm gap between Democrats and Republicans is absolutely massive. So I'm glad you let me geek out with you there for a second, because I think it's very, very important to see that. You had J.D. Vance getting booed yesterday by the firefighters union conference, where Governor Walz got a standing ovation, or people are clapping for Walz, not for Vance. Take a look at people booing Vance here.
Now, President Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history. And I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike.
You see the firefighter union members over there wearing the shirts. Donald Trump is a scab. I love that shirt, by the way, right there. Then let me just show you, because this was happening at the same time, Vice President Kamala Harris speaking with Dana Bash. Let me show you that clip, and I want to compare it to what Donald Trump was saying when he spoke in a so-called town hall with like softball questions in Wisconsin. First, Harris, play this clip.
So, Savannah, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, God bless you and God bless the United States of America.
Now, Trump, play this clip.
You take a look at bacon and some of these products, and some people don't eat bacon anymore. And we are going to get the energy prices down. When we get energy down, you know, this was caused by their horrible energy wind. They want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem.
Well, tell me what you think, folks, right there. Some more weird behavior by Donald Trump, but I don't know. You tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. Thanks for helping us get past 3 million subscribers. Let's keep going, fellas.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.